All right. So you can go ahead and just come down onto your back, the same place that we usually end our practice in. Legs extended, arms by your side. Let's just take a nice deep breath in through the nose, expanding through the belly, expanding through the chest. And exhale out through your mouth. We'll do 2 more breaths like that. Nice deep breath in. And exhale out. One more time. Nice deep breath in, expanding everything. And exhale, letting it go. And then from here, finding a nice even breath in and out through your nose. Allowing the muscles of the face to stay relaxed. Eyes are gently closed. Lips slightly open, jaws relaxed. Just feeling every inhalation rising and expanding through the belly, through the chest. Every exhalation through the nose, just softly making its way down the body. And we'll keep our awareness here on our breath for the next few moments. When you catch the mind wandering, let whatever thought that entered the mind go and come back to your next breath. Finding your next exhalation. And then on your next breath in, I want you to reach your arms back behind you. You're going to do that big morning stretch we usually end our practice in, really extending, reaching through the arms, reaching through the legs. And then on your next exhalation, we're just going to start to take those legs over to the right and the arms over to the right. So we're just finding this big crescent moon stretch. Back of the body is on the mat. Both sit bones are on the mat. You might need to shimmy the upper body a little bit to the right as well, stretching out through the left side of the body. One more breath here. And then on your exhalation, I want you to start to bend through the knees, and we're just going to come into a fetal position over to the right. So you can just start to scooch those hips to the left. Knees can stack on top of each other. Maybe the head rests on your bicep. Pausing here. And then from here, we're going to start to take that left arm over to the left, opening the chest up towards the ceiling, finding a spinal twist. If you want to readjust anything here, you can in order to deepen the twist. Nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. From here, you can begin to just roll yourself back onto your back. You can place the soles of the feet to the mat. Hips are back to the mat. And then you can just bring your knees in towards your chest, interlace the hands around the shins. Pick up your head, bring your forehead towards the knees, give yourself a little squeeze. And then on your next exhalation, we're releasing everything out how we began our practice. Legs extended, arms by your side. Taking a moment here in between sides, just to reconnect with your body, reconnect with your breath. And then on your next breath in, we're going to reach those arms back overhead. Find that morning stretch, really lengthening, really reaching. And then as you exhale, feet come over to the left. You can start to scoot your back over to the left, arms to the left, that big crescent moon stretch to stretch out through the right side of the body. Couple of breaths here. One more breath. And on your next exhalation, you can start to bend the knees. We're going to scooch those hips to the right as we turn our head to the left, turn our knees to the left as well. Head can rest on your bicep. And then from your fetal position, begin to open that right arm out to the right. Head can turn to the right as well. Adjusting anything you need to adjust in order to get the full benefits of the twist. Nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. One more breath. And then from here, you can start to make your way back onto your back, sit bones back on the mat, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. We'll bring our knees back in towards our chest again. And then this time you can just start to rock from side to side, massaging out through the spine. Anything that feels good. Now we're going to start to make our way up to a seat. So you can either roll over to your right and press yourself up to a seat, or you can rock on your spine, and I'll recommend 3 full rocks from the back of the neck to the tailbone until you make your way up to a seat. Sitting nice and tall, you can close the eyes for a moment and bring the hands to heart center. Taking this moment to check in with ourselves. We'll continue with our practice by just gently bowing our heads to our hands. You can allow the hands to float down into the lap, fluttering the eyes open, gazing down. And then from here, you can just gently float the crown of the head back up. From here, we're going to start to come into our table. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips stacked over the knees. Go ahead and tuck your right toes under and just slide that right foot back. You're just going to start to just hinge the weight of your body forwards and backwards, just to stretch out through the back of that right leg. Little pulses in the heel. And then the next time you reach back through that right heel, go ahead and pick the right foot up off the mat. Keep the right foot flexed. Fingers spread nice and wide on that right hand. We're going to reach the left arm forward. Thumb points up towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. One more breath. As you exhale, you can gently lower the right shin back down to the mat. You're going to open your left arm out to the left. So just opening the chest up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, left arm is going to thread through shoulder and ear to the mat. From here, you can do anything you'd like with that right hand. You can reach it forward, tensing the fingers to create space in that right shoulder. Or you can take that right hand behind you to your low back, or maybe it even climbs all the way around to the left thigh. Breathing here. One more breath. Wherever that right hand is, let's place it back in front of our face. We're going to press into that right hand, reach that left arm up towards the ceiling once again, opening through the chest. And then as you exhale, left hand comes back down to meet the right. From here, let's do a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling to arch, exhaling to round, just moving with your breath. Adding any other movement that you want to do here, aside from just the rounding and the arching of the spine. And then we'll begin to make our way back into that table. We'll start to tuck our left toes under now, slide that left foot back, gently rocking the body forwards and backwards, pulsing through that left heel. And then from here, you can go ahead, pick that left foot up off the mat, keeping that left foot flexed. Right arm reaches forward, thumb points up towards the ceiling. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. One more breath. And then on your exhalation, lower the left shin down. Reach that right arm up towards the ceiling, opening your chest towards the right. And then as you exhale, right arm threads through, shoulder and ear to the mat. Breathing here. Anything you did on the other side now, you can do with that left hand. One more breath here. And then you can start to bring that left hand back in front of your face. We'll press into it, reach that right arm back up towards the ceiling, opening through the chest. And then as you exhale, right hand comes back down to meet the left. From here, we can start to make our way into our first downward facing dog. You can walk your hands slightly in front of the shoulders, begin to tuck those toes, pressing the hips back nice and high. When you find your downward facing dog, you can just start to pedal through the knees. Anything that feels good in this first downward dog of our practice. On your next breath in, bend the knees, send the belly back towards the thighs, really stretching through the shoulders. And then on your exhalation, just gently making your way back into that downward facing dog, just finding a nice stationary one. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. On your next breath in, let's walk our feet in between our hands. We're going to find a forward fold at the front of the mat. You can grab opposite elbows here. Let the head hang heavy. Swaying the hips, swaying the torso. Anything that feels good. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out. Second time, inhale. And exhale, release the arms. On your next breath in, find your flat back. As you exhale, folding forward, head is heavy, arms are heavy. We'll begin to straighten through our right leg. Left hand will come to the outside of the right shin or thigh. And then that right arm is going to peel up, twisting to the right. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. And exhale, folding forward, head heavy, arms heavy. Inhale, flat back through center. Exhale, folding again. Let's straighten through the left leg now. Right hand to left shin, left arm peels up, twisting to the left for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale, folding forward. From here, we're just going to circle our arms out and up, finding our high prayer. Inhale. As you exhale, hands are going to float through heart center. And then by your side. From here, I want you to do 3 big exaggerated shoulder rolls forward. And then 3 big exaggerated shoulder rolls backwards. And then on your next breath in, you can circle both arms out and up, find that high prayer. And then as you exhale, gently folding forward over the legs, head heavy, arms heavy. Flat back on your inhale. As you exhale, plant the hands and step it back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment just to pedal out through the knees when you get there. And then on your next breath in, shift forward, find plank. As you exhale, gently drop your knees to the mat, chest and chin. Inhale, low cobra, opening through the chest. And then as you exhale, you can go ahead, tuck those toes under, hips to heels. We're pressing it back into our downward facing dog. Full cycle of breath, inhale. And exhale. On your next breath in, send the right leg up and back into a downward dog split. As you exhale, bend through the knee and open that right hip. I want you to do 3 big knee circles in one direction. 3 big knee circles in the other direction. And then squaring your hips off, straightening that right leg. As you exhale, you'll bring that right foot in between the hands, finding a low lunge. Go ahead and grab your blocks from here. Have your blocks on the highest setting, right underneath the shoulders. And we'll play with just straightening and bending through the right knee for a few rounds. Moving lunge. Pausing anywhere that feels good. Dropping the back knee down if you'd like to get into your hip flexor more. Folding over a straight right leg. Just taking this time to explore what feels good for you right now at the beginning of our practice. Anything else in this last breath? And then we'll refine that low lunge with the back knee lifted. And then you can just allow that left foot to meet the right, finding your forward fold. You can remove the blocks, place them aside, and just hang heavy. Inhale, find your flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high prayer. Exhale, hands flow through heart center. And then Tadasana. Inhale, high prayer. Exhale, fold forward. Flat back on your inhale. On your exhalation, hands to the mat. Step your left foot back into a low lunge. Roll your shoulders back and look forward. Inhale. As you exhale, plant your hands and step it back into downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, let's shift forward and find plank. From your plank, knees to the mat, chest and chin, lower it down. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, press it back into your downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. On your next inhalation, you can extend that left leg up and back into a downward dog split. As you exhale, bend through the knee. Open that left hip up. Let's circle that left knee 3 times one way. 3 times the other way. And then from here, squaring your hips off, straightening that left leg. As you exhale, left foot in between the hands, finding that low lunge. From here, you can grab your blocks again. And then once again, just bending and straightening through that left leg. Little pulses through the heel. Anything that feels good. A few more moments. One more breath here. And then we'll start to come back into that low lunge. And then we'll just allow that right foot to meet the left, and we're in our forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into your high prayer. Exhale, hands flow through heart center. And then Tadasana. High prayer, inhale. Exhale, folding forward over the legs. Flat back, inhale. As you exhale, hands to the mat, right foot steps back into your low lunge. Looking forward, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands downward, facing dog. As you inhale, finding your plank. As you exhale, knees to the mat, chest and chin. Inhale, low cobra. And then exhale, you can lower the forehead back down, tuck the toes, and press it back into your downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. One more breath. And exhale. On your next inhalation, send the right leg up and back into a downward dog split. As you exhale, right foot in between the hands. Left heel will spin down. We're going to rise up to warrior 2. Right arm forward, left arm back. Now from your warrior 2, I want you to flip both palms up. We're going to take our hands to our shoulders. And then I want you to do 3 big shoulder rolls, just moving those elbows forward and back. Doesn't matter which direction. And then you'll do the opposite direction. It's kind of like when we do this with the knee. And then when you've done those 6 circles, you can extend right arm forward again, left arm back. We're in our warrior 2. From your warrior 2, straighten through the right leg. Send that left hip back. We're going to reach forward and find our triangle. Let's take 3 breaths in triangle. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhaling for 2. One more breath here. On your exhalation, we're going to start to just bend through that right knee a bit. And then you're going to place the hands down to the left side of the mat. Heel toe the feet, so the feet are now aligned, toes are aligned. So we're on the left side of the mat in a wide-legged straddle. And I want you just to take a moment to bend one knee at a time. Just allowing your hips to sway from side to side. From here, we're going to start to bring the heels in, point the toes out, and walk your hands up onto your thighs. Hips are low, knees are aligned with the ankle, and we're just going to do some shoulder dips. Yep. Just stretching out through our shoulders. And then from here, I want you just to gently stand up. Finding this wide-legged straddle, you'll point your toes back to the left. Interlace the hands at the low back. Reach the fist back and open through the chest. And then on your exhalation, you're just going to fold over the legs again. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, 1. Inhale. On your exhalation, release those hands back down to the mat. From here, walk the hands back over to the right foot. We're going to find a low lunge at the front of your mat so you can come onto the ball of the left foot. Look forward, inhale. On your exhalation, plant your hands and step it back into your downward facing dog. If you choose to move through your vinyasa, you can shift forward, find your plank. On your exhalation, knees to the mat, chest and chin, lower it down. Inhale, low cobra. And then exhale, pressing it back into downward facing dog or child's pose if you need it. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhaling for 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. On your next breath in, send that left leg up and back into your downward dog split. As you exhale, left foot in between the hands. Right heel spins down to the mat. We're going to rise back up into our warrior 2. Left arm forward, right arm back. From your warrior 2, flip both palms up, hands to the shoulders. We're going to do those big elbow circles. 3 in one direction. 3 in the other direction. And then from here, left arm forward, right arm back. We're in our warrior 2 again. Straighten through that left leg, send that right hip back, reach forward, left hand comes down, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. 3 breaths, Trikonasana, inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhaling for 2. 1 more breath. And then on your exhalation, you can start to sweep that right hand back down. We're going to find that wide-legged straddle again. Now we're on the right side of the mat. You can pedal the knees. And then from here, find a flat back. So you can come up onto the pads of your fingers, or if you have your blocks, you can put the blocks underneath your hands, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Let's walk our hands over to the right foot. I want you to bring your left hand to your right ankle, and then that right arm is going to peel up. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. You can release that right hand back down. We're going to walk both hands back through center. Inhale, find your flat back through center. And then exhale, fold forward. Let's walk our hands over to the left ankle. Right hand to left ankle. Left hand reaches up. Deep breath in. Exhale, 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. Let's lower that left hand down to the front of the mat. We're going to start to come back into that low lunge. Low lunge facing the front of the mat. On the ball of the right foot, nice deep breath in. On your exhalation, plant your hands and step it back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out through the knees. If you choose to, you can find your vinyasa, shifting forward to your plank. As you exhale, knees to the mat, chest and chin. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, pressing back to downward dog or child's pose. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath here. And exhale. All right, on your next breath in, just gently walk your feet in between your hands. As you exhale, we're just going to find that forward fold at the front of your mat. From here, you can take your peace fingers and your thumbs, wrap them around your big toes. Find your flat back on your inhale. And then as you exhale, just allow the elbows to splay out as you're moving your belly towards the thighs a bit more. Nice deep breath in. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more breath. On your exhalation, release your feet. We're going to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. You can just roll your shoulders back once, finding your Tadasana, your mountain pose, palms face forward, reaching through the fingers. From here, we are going to begin to just shift the weight a bit into that right foot, little bend in the knee. We're going to start to come into our tree. So finding something to look at in front of you, you can start to pick that left foot up, placing it either to the inside of the thigh or to the inside of the shin. Hands will gather to heart center. And then from there, you can do anything you'd like with your hands. From here, let's bring that left knee back in front of you. Take both hands, interlace them around that left shin, keeping that left foot flexed. Now I want you to keep the right hand on the knee, and I want you to take that left arm and start to bring it behind you so you're opening your chest up to the left. Beautiful. Now the hardest part here is turning your head to the left. When you start to move that gaze, that's when it gets more challenging. Slowly bring that left hand back to the knee. And release. Let that left foot come back down. You can take a moment to kick out through the heels. And then when you're ready, we'll come into the other side, shifting the weight into that left foot. On your next exhalation, you can start to bring that right knee in towards the chest, interlace the hands around that right shin. Keep the left hand on your shin. Slowly start to reach that right arm behind you, opening your chest up to the right. Let's bring that right hand back to the knee and then release. You can shake it out. All right, from here, we're gonna go ahead and circle both arms back out and up, find that high prayer. As you exhale, folding forward over the legs. Flat back on your inhale. As you exhale, hands to the mat, step it back into your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, let's shift forward and find plank. From your plank pose, I want you to lower all the way down onto the mat with control. We're going to come into our shoulder stretches. So from here, you're going to extend that right arm straight out to the right, fingertips aligning with the shoulders. Keep that left hand in that little chaturanga hand. You're going to lift up that left foot, pointing the toes up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to start to press into that left hand, taking that left foot to the outside of the mat. Breathing into that right shoulder. Allowing everything else in the body to relax. And then from here, you can start to roll back onto the belly, both legs together. You can bring that right hand back underneath the shoulder. We'll do the other side. We'll just extend that left arm out. Point the right toes up towards the ceiling. Press into that right hand now. Breathing into that left shoulder. And then from here, you can start to roll back onto your belly. Both hands are going to come now underneath the shoulders. We're going to press into our hands and press it back into a child's pose. Forehead to the mat, hips pressing back towards the heels. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. You can start to make your way back into your downward facing dog. On your next breath in, let's send that right leg up and back into a downward dog split. And then on your exhalation, we're going to come into lizard. So you're going to place that right foot to the outside of the right hand. You're going to gently drop that back knee down to the mat. Top of the foot will release to the mat. Grab your blocks. You can place those blocks underneath your forearms, or you can stay up on your hands. And we're just going to take a few moments here just to kind of rock the hips from side to side or in little circles. Gently stretching out through that right hip flexor. Just this kind of moving, swaying lizard. And take one more breath. And then from your lizard, we're going to start to come into pigeon. So you can start to just come back up onto your hands. Place those blocks aside. If you need to put one of those blocks underneath your right hip, you can do that. Heel toeing that right foot over to the left hand. Lengthening through that left leg. Coming down when you're ready. One more breath here. On your next breath, we're going to start to rise back up. And then I want you just to roll over onto your sit bones. So we're going to find the left leg is extended and that right foot to the inside of the thigh. Flexing through the left foot. On your next breath in, we're going to reach both arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, we're going to take a twist over to the right, left hand to the outside of that right knee, right hand behind you, rolling that right shoulder back. Deep breath in. Exhale, 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. Inhale, come back through center, reach both arms up. On your exhalation, lengthening to the left elbow to the inside of the knee. Right arm reaches up by the ear, nice and long in the side body. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale for 1. Feeling that nice big stretch in the right rib cage. And exhale for 2. We'll come and reach those arms back up towards the ceiling. This time I'm going to turn to face that left leg. And then as you exhale, folding over it. 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. We can start to reach those arms back up. And then forward in front of the mat, transitioning first to all fours as we gently make our way back into our downward facing dog. Getting back into downward dog, take a moment, pedal out through the knees. Anything that feels good after that little sequence of hip stretches. And then if you choose to, you can move through your vinyasa, and then we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. On your next inhalation, left leg is going to reach back. As you exhale, left foot to the outside of that left hand. Gently drop the back knee down to the mat. Top of the foot comes to the mat. You can grab your blocks for underneath your forearms. Lowering down. And then once again, finding those little sways of the hips from side to side, stretching out. Through that left hip flexor. One more breath. From here, you can start to make your way back up onto your hands. Place those blocks aside. And then come into pigeon. Just taking your time to get there, adjusting yourself as you need to before lowering yourself down onto the mat. One more breath. And then from here, you can start to rise back up. And then we'll start to shift our weight into our sit bones again. Left foot to the inside of that right thigh, right leg extends. Inhale, reach both arms up. On your exhalation, we're twisting to the left, right hand to the outside of that left knee, left hand behind you, 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. Inhale back through center, both arms extend back up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, right elbow to the inside of that knee, left arm reaches nice and long along the ear. Inhale. Exhaling for 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. Inhale, reach both arms back up. Going to turn to face that right leg, and then as you exhale, folding forward. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. From here, both arms will reach back up and then back over to that left thigh as we transition back onto all fours, and then making your way back into your downward facing dog. Taking a moment in your downward dog to pedal out through the knees. Again, anything that feels good here. And then from here, if you choose to, final vinyasa. And then we're going to come into a child's pose after that. Gently rocking the head from side to side. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. From your child's pose, just start to walk the hands up by the hips. Coming into a brief hero's pose. We're just going to begin to sit up onto our heels. And then just walk your hands behind you, just open through the chest like a modified camel. So you don't have to drop your head back unless you want to. Just drawing the shoulder blades back. Nice inhale. And exhale. We're just going to start to shift onto our sit bones, swing the legs around. We're going to come to lie down onto our back. So you can just start to lower down. Soles of the feet will stay on the mat. Arms by your side, palms facing down. We're going to move into a few rounds of moving bridge. So on your next breath in, you're going to lift your hips and lift the arms up overhead. And then on your exhalation, lower the hips and lower the arms back down. Just a few more rounds like this on your own. Massaging through the length of your spine. One more. And then on your next exhalation, you can lower the hips and the arms back down to the mat. Let's bring the feet as wide as the mat. We're going to bring the knees into touch. And then I want you just to windshield wiper the knees from right to left. Little massage through the low back. And then the next time you drop your knees over to the right, keep your feet where they are and the knees where they are. And then I just want you to take that right foot on top of the left thigh, just towards the knee. So a little bit of a different spinal stretch, targeting more of the outer hip. Since we did regular spinal twists at the beginning of our practice, it's just something a little different. One more breath. You can gently release the foot from off the thigh, and then we're going to windshield wiper the knees again. And then when you drop those knees over to the left, same thing. We'll take that left foot to the outside of that right thigh, closer to the knee. Nice deep breaths here in the stretch. And then we can release that left foot. We're going to do a couple more windshield wipers. And then from here, we'll buckle the knees together again. So again, feet wide, knees together. We're going to reach both arms straight up towards the ceiling. And I want you to grab opposite elbows, just bringing one hand to each elbow. And then we're just going to start to bring those elbows from right to left. A little bit more shoulder stretching. Now, as you're moving the elbows from right to left, I want you to start to turn the head with the elbows. So the head will turn to the left when your left elbow's to the left, and then your head will turn to the right when your right elbow's to the right, as if the arms and the head are connected. This is what is called a shoulder inquiry in therapeutics yoga. And now from here, I want you to turn your head in the opposite direction of the elbows. So when that left elbow is left, your head is right. And when that right elbow is right, your head is left. If you can go as slow or as quickly as what feels good here, if turning your head too quickly makes you dizzy, just go nice and slow. And then from here, I just want you to add any other movement. So you can take maybe the elbows up overhead and pause, bringing the elbows back towards the chest and just kind of going forwards and backwards. Or you can do little figure eights. You can switch arms, so maybe bringing that other arm on top. And then when you feel like you're done here, you can just place the elbows up overhead. Just let them rest on the back of the mat. Nice little stretch here. Maybe you arch the spine a bit on the mat. And on your exhalation, you just release the arms onto your shins, bringing the shins up into your thighs up into your belly. And then you can just kind of rock around. Find a happy baby. You can reach for the outer edges of the feet, drawing the knees in towards the underarms. In your happy baby, if you want to play with straightening out one leg and then the other leg, you can do that. And then from here, we're going to bring the knees back in towards our chest. And we're just going to roll over to one side. It doesn't matter which side you roll to. Then we'll just gently press our way up. So we're going to come into restorative fish to end out our practice. You have your bolster if you want to use the bolster instead of the blocks. You can do that. I don't know if you normally like doing blocks or bolster. Bolster. If you wanted to put a block at the front of it too to make it a little higher, you can do that. And then wherever you're at here, you're going to start to just set yourself up, soles of the feet to the mat. Yeah, having a block under the bolster is nice. And then you can start to lower yourself down onto the bolster. Anything you want here with the legs. If you want to keep the soles of the feet to the mat, you can do that in that same little, when the knees are buckled together to create space, or you bring the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. Supta Baddha Konasana if you want more hip stretching. Or of course, you can just extend out those legs, which is normally what I prefer. Now we're going to stay here for several minutes. Just really allowing yourself to take nice deep breaths in through the nose, really expanding through that upper rib cage. And on your exhalations, just imagining your back body just wrapping itself around that bolster, just melting into the bolster. We are going to start to make our way into our Shavasana. So however you want to come off that bolster, if you want to just bend the knees, if it's available to you, yeah, you can just roll off of it and press yourself back up. And then arrange the bolster how you'd like it. Yeah, place it maybe underneath the knees for some low back support. Getting yourself warm and comfortable. And just lowering yourself back down onto the mat. Legs extended, arms by your side. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Settling back into this breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice even breathing. Noticing how the body feels in comparison to the beginning of our practice. Any new sensations in the body. Allowing that body just to sink into the mat like quicksand. Toes are released, soles of the feet, the ankles, the calf muscles are relaxed. Backs of your knees, your thighs, your hips. Inhaling, feeling the breath expanding through the belly. Exhaling, a soft release in the belly, waist, low back. Letting go of any tension in the fingers, the hands, palms of the hands, wrists, the forearms, biceps. Letting go of any tension in your shoulders. As you inhale, feeling the chest expanding with breath. And on your exhalation, imagining the entire length of the spine. Releasing any tension. Onto the mat, away from your body. No tension in the jaw. Your mouth is relaxed. Your cheeks are relaxed. Eyes resting on the backs of the eyelids. No tension in between the eyebrows, no tightness in the forehead. Nice deep breath in through the nose, expanding the belly, expanding the chest, expanding through the entire body. And on your exhalation, releasing any leftover tension out through the body, through the crown of your head. A few more minutes here, focusing on your breath. start to find some gentle movement here in the body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Yeah, give yourself a big stretch. And then from here, you can start to bend through the knees, make your way over to your right side, find a fetal position here. And then keeping the head heavy and the eyes closed, you can go ahead and press yourself up, find a comfortable seat on your mat. Let's bring your hands to heart center. And gently bow your head to your hands. Thank yourself for doing something good for your body as well as your mind. And as always, I thank you so much for joining me in your practice. Namaste.